The Cotswolds, a perfect portrait for selling Britain abroad. In summer, out of hunting season, the hounds of the Vale of the White Horse are exercised early in the morning through the Gloucestershire town of Fairford. People first settled here in the Iron Age. 20 centuries later, in 1951, a new community arrived and set up camp on the hill on the outskirts of the town, the United States 3rd Air Force. The Americans left Fairford in 1964, but returned 7 years ago with their KC-135 Stratotankers, aircraft that can refuel other aircraft in the air, flying petrol pumps carrying up to 200,000 pounds of fuel. This is where I grew up. 30 years on, Fairford has hardly altered. The Americans were here then, introducing us country kids to the joys of hamburgers, Coke in bottles, and rock and roll. Quite a culture shock. Reveille, or reveille, as the Americans call it.
Present arms. Order arms. Bow face.
We say tomatoes, they say tomatoes. Minor differences explained to new arrivals at familiarization briefings.
It's a good assignment, good place to be stationed, a good place to live. Get out and get to know the people. Get out and use your opportunity here to see the sights, but most important, to make friends off base. There are a lot of familiar things. Once your ear gets tuned, you'll find that we speak the same language and you won't have the language problem.
A nice one, isn't it? Oh, ah. Yes, yeah.
It's mother and daughter, isn't it?
Yeah, they're mated with a Pedigree West Island Terrier.
Oh. What part of the state do you come from then?
I come from Iowa.
Iowa. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a sister in Texas.
Yeah, it's over a little bit. But Texas is a lot warmer than Iowa.
So she tells me. She tells me, yeah. Yeah, do you like that beer?
It's pretty good. Is this stuff stronger than American beer? It tastes a little bit stronger.
Oh, a lot stronger.
A lot stronger.
Than American beer, yeah.
So, like, if I drink one of these, I'll have, like, drank 3 American beers.
Well, you can have 2.5 of them, and then you can drive.
There are differences. The British are very much like us, and they're in some ways a little different. Don't be obtrusive. Kind of calm yourself down a little bit and fit into the local pace of things.
Just leave some bits and pieces on the bottom.
You're living in a rural community. Remember that. It's not a big city out there, and the people are used to a relatively quiet and peaceful way of life. And we try to keep it that way as much as possible.
In April this year, 9 Stratotankers took off from Fairford to refuel the F-111s that bombed Libya. An event that made world headlines and caused an international crisis seems to have hardly touched the people of Fairford. John Harrington is water bailiff for the local estate, handling 4.5 miles of fishing rights.
It's a good life.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Ideal. People pay money to do this, don't they? I do this for work.
I do remember as a kid there would be fishermen who paid a lot of money with their flies and their rods,
Yes.
way upstream, spending hours.
Yes.
But there were little patches, if you were a kid, with a bit of bread
That's
that
right.
you could sort of
Yes.
get them quite easily.
There's still those. Still plenty of those. Yes.
Carry them home in dock leaves, I think.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's ideal dock league, isn't it? Comes in very handy for a lot of things.
You've done it too, I think.
Yes, done it too. Tickling them, yes. Yes, very handy sort of thing.
Do you feel at peace with this place?
Very much so. It's very, very soothing, especially the sound of the water. A lot of people come here and, you know, they say, oh, how do you get used to it? But it's very easy to get used to. Very easy. I think it's just sort of, it sends you to sleep after a while, once you do get used to it.
Except when you hit a log.
Oh, I think so, yes. We'll get there in a minute.
Airman Darnell Moss, a real cool man.
Have a nice day. Take it easy.
You got a selection of salutes?
Depending on the rank. You know, lieutenant, let's see, a first lieutenant may not get a real sharp salute. He may just get, yeah, he's just starting out. When a colonel or a general comes through, you put on the whole dress, work.
What about this music that's going on in the background?
Type of music I like. They say I can have some music up here. So as long as it's not at an extreme volume. Oh, man.
I have to get on it.
Reg Allen, gamekeeper at Fairford Park, has a delivery. In the box, day-old partridge chicks, 800 of them. They'll be put into heated huts which act as surrogate mothers. Eventually, they'll be released in readiness for the shooting parties. Tenderly and with a tinge of sadness, Mrs. Allen does her bit to make them feel at home.
See, even though they've only just been hatched, they start pecking. They know how to start eating and drinking.
How do you feel when you see them shot down?
Well, you get used to that. If it's, you know, if it's cleanly shot, it kills straight away. It's fair enough. It's sport.
Do you eat partridge?
No. I mean, we could do. We could eat pheasants, but I don't like them. I don't fancy eating them after we've, well, not like our own chickens, you know. We've got hens and cockles and that, but I don't like eating them. Not after we've reared them. Just doesn't seem right.
Supposed to be tough country people.
Oh, well, I'm not then.
Do you prefer birds to people, do you think?
I've had more to do with birds than people. It's not only pheasants and partridges. Nature is songbirds and everything you see. I see things that you never would in your lifetime. So, all hours, early morning, late night.
You find it a bit quiet.
You mean England? Oh, yes. So I come from a big city, Philadelphia. And it's what they call New York the concrete jungle, you know. Nothing but streets, cars, very seldom see trees. And hey, the farm life, cows. I've seen so many cows before.
You've never seen cows?
I've seen cows, but you know, 'cause my grandmother lives in the country. She has cows. My other grandmother has pigs. But this is a little too much land for the kid. Too many cows. Everywhere you drive, cows.
Do you forget about the base when you're in these parts?
Yeah, that's marvellous. Yes. I think people were worried when they first came that it was going to cause a lot of problem. But if you worry about everything that goes on in the papers and things like that, I'm afraid, you know, you worry yourself sick. No, I don't think so. Personally myself, anyway. I think you just got to get on with life. Not the rest of the other people. Somebody's always got to complain about something or other, I suppose. But, I mean, that's their privilege.
You don't mind the fact that the Americans are that close?
Not really. If they weren't there, then somebody else would be there. So, it's not really much of a problem to me, anyway.
When the Americans were away for 15 years, Fairford had the Red Arrows and Concorde, romantic planes. So why Stratotankers now? Base commander and Vietnam veteran, Colonel Wayne Pitman.
Well, our mission's really fairly simple. I belong to United States Air Forces in Europe, the American Air Force part of NATO, and my job is to provide an airfield and a runway and facilities to support the tanker mission. They fly aerial refueling for NATO training, to bring airplanes back and forth across the Atlantic, and to support deployments in the Middle East and to the north of us, where we fly aerial surveillance. And all of these operations require aerial refueling. We have 3 major bases in Europe with aerial refueling missions, and we're the newest of 3. And that's basically what we do.
The runway is dry, the bird condition is moderate or yellow, and all the nav aids are in with the exception of Bry's radar, which is out. You have a bingo fuel that should be on your cover sheet of 26,000 pounds, and that would be the fuel that you would depart the area with to fly the flight plan back to Fairford and arrive here with 20,000 pounds, since this is summertime flying reserves. And then, as we always end all our briefings on flying safety, this is a peacetime mission, and the most important thing is to accomplish it safely, and flying safety is paramount.
You have a screwdriver?
Today, this crew will be away about 4 hours, refueling 24 NATO planes somewhere over the North Sea.
Okay, can I read it again? I know you don't like me to do this, but it helps me know where we are. Where are we?
There is a small peace group in Fairford protesting about the presence of the Americans. Before the Libyan crisis, the group had 40 members. After the incident, just 4 more joined. As for the Americans themselves, debates on the rights and wrongs of their activities are not encouraged.
I don't go out seeking confrontation or anything of that type. I think for military men it's unproductive. We should not be in the business, I don't think, of answering critics. Our civilian representatives do that, our government and your government, because we work for them. We do whatever our national policies ask, and I think our best approach is just to continue to do our job and let the 2 civilian governments handle that part of it. That's not what we're good at.
The Doves belong to a member of Fairford's peace group, author Susie Verica, who lives in a house on the edge of a nature reserve. In the beginning there were 6, now there are 30.
Come on. The first time they came out was when I took Sam up to the base, but they came home. It was absolutely wonderful. And then gradually they've increased and multiplied, sometimes not always in quite the right direction.
Touch of grey there.
Touch of grey. Well, it's these racing pigeons. Although I think that one there, I don't think he's even ringed. Well, what do? You want white doves and you have visitors. It's a bit of a problem.
How do you advise your boys to cope with the anti-American faction?
I really don't get in the business of giving advice because it is relatively small. Well, it is small, and it doesn't have that big an impact at our base, not like you see the publicity at some of the other bases, because it's very much a local opposition, and it takes the form of fairly disciplined and structured opposition. In other words, the people have a certain point of view. They periodically take an opportunity to express that. But I appreciate that. We have different points of view among ourselves. They don't destroy things. They don't try to hurt people. They don't try to disrupt things. They express their views, and that's something that's very American as it is very British. And I think most of my people understand that. I don't want to say we ignore them, but in essence we do.
You're going to use them in other demonstrations?
Oh, yes. But I have to say straight away that if it were a British military establishment there, I would probably feel equally worried, because it's when you live with the day-to-day presence, probably of the parish of Fairford. I live closer than most other people, certainly on this side of the town, and I see those lorries going up and down every day, either coming out loaded with earth or going in loaded with, well, heaven knows what. I see the accidents on the road. I hear the alarms ringing on the base. You know, you become very, very aware of it. You see the aircraft taking off. You hear them on the Libyan crisis affair. My whole house shook. I've heard them take off before, but rarely absolutely loaded to the gills with fuel. And that was an astonishing noise. And so you become very sensitive.
You can't take it in.
Oh, can't I?
No,
Oh, I see.
But I'll mark it down for you.
Yes, please.
50p if you put it back again.
Yes, I will. Hello there. Too late, everything's gone. Yes, yes, 2 fudges, 25, and the meringues, please.
I know a lot of people think I make a nuisance of myself for the sake of having a row or this or that. It's not true. I genuinely believe we've got to do something about it. If there's a war, Fairford is a bullseye. The whole of Gloucestershire is, in fact.
Do you think the people of Fairford think about it?
I don't know if they think about it. Certainly they are different to a lot of the people that I know in other places, in that during the time of the reactivation of the base, out of 52 different parishes, Fairford was the only one to vote in favour of the reactivation, the only one who knew how nice the Americans were when they were here before, perhaps, and possibly they felt that they would be doing business with them. So I think Fairford, oddly enough, is different, but then, strangely, Fairford has always been a little bit different to anywhere else I lived. I can remember when I was a young girl, thinking that Fairford had a quality that was different to anywhere else. It's unique. Special, but doesn't always agree with me.
And what was that quality?
Slightly isolated, oddly enough, I feel. Now, how that should come about, I can't imagine, because geographically it fits in like any other town. But there has always been a sense of, for me, of it being a rather an isolated place, rather insular, perhaps.
There've been bakers on this site for 4 generations, and for nigh on 50 years, the Radway brothers, Sid and Bill, have been getting up at the crack of dawn to turn out 400 loaves a day. Do the Americans come here for your bread, Bill?
They come here, but not a great lot. You get the occasional one, but I believe they've got nearly everything up on the base. It's a shop of every description, they tell me. They sell everything up there. So, of course, I mean, that definitely does.
What do you think about the Yanks? Are you glad they're here?
Well, to be quite truthful, they don't interfere with us. I mean, we really don't know much about them, to be quite truthful. At one time, when they first come here, before they had their facilities now up at the drome. We used to get some then, but since they've been, as I say, with everything up there, we don't.
Do you ever worry about what's going on up there?
No. No, because as I say, we're here, and as far as the flying, I think it mostly goes out the other way.
You got a gun there?
Yeah. 38 Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson 38, however you want to say it.
You know how to use it?
Yeah.
Ever had to?
No, unfortunately, no. Don't hope I ever have to either. They can make a pretty good mess of people. They can make a pretty good mess of people. Yeah.
I've got to pass. Miss June Lewis, school secretary, historian, and part-time shepherdess. Jan and Chan, the Celtic for 1 and 2, are Cotswold lions, a rare breed of sheep.
Look like a pair of bookends today. Hello. Hello, Jan. Didn't you come when I called?
They're not stupid. They know they're due for a pedicure.
We tidy you up?
Jan and Chan earn their keep. Their wool makes jumpers for June. Jan, number 1 sheep, was purchased to add a touch of authenticity to June's play, a sonnet lumiere about the history of Fairford. It was performed with great success in the church.
When I wanted to bring in the sheep, you know, the origins of the church, etc., I wanted the sheep actually in there, not a stuffed toy representing sheep. So I wanted real sheep, so therefore I wanted the real breed. And that was 8 years ago.
Bit big for a sonnet lumiere, aren't they?
Well, I mean, she was only half the size then, because she was only a lamb, you know, sort of 8 months
Could you
old.
carry her?
No. When I first had her, I could carry her. But by the time I'd written the script, she'd grown to such a size, it took 2 men to pick her up and put her on the stage. And she didn't disgrace herself at all. Although I had what I called a medieval rear guard, you know, complete with little brush and bucket, just in case. But she didn't do anything wrong at all, except that she bowed at the bishop, didn't you?
I think Bishop should be bowed at, don't you?
Well, obviously everybody else did, because she was the star of the show.
She's looking a bit wary at you.
I don't think it's me, I think it's you. My sheep are not very partial to men. They always think that something undignified is going to happen, like being turned over and stripped of her fleece or thrown into a bath of sheep dip.
They don't attack, do they?
No. Back feet. Ooh. Let's just get this off. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Chan. Good girl. Does that feel better? Oh. Good girl. Good girl.
Is the other one going to get away with it? Because she's looking a bit...
Not at all, no.
Oh.
No, you're not going to get away with it, Jan. Come along. Let's have a look at you. Let's have a look at you, darling. Let's have a look at your feet. Ah. You don't like the back foot done, do you?
Rolling!
Good girl.
You ready?
Right. Hook 2. Trouble's going. He's gone.
It's a picturesque area. This area here is, as I tell Americans when they first arrive here, before they get a chance to get out and see it, this is what Britain is supposed to look like. Most Americans who are stationed here, of course, are stationed over in East Anglia. And when they get there, that's not what they thought it was going to be like, because your tourist authority uses this area to represent Britain in the tourist ads, the Cotswold villages and the stone and the rural hills and so forth. So when we get here, it meets our expectations.
There's no doubt that most of the people of Fairford feel at peace with the Americans and their activities. Only a small warning voice is heard every so often. What frightens you the most?
Well, I have two fabulous grandchildren, and I look at them and I just, well, I really don't believe that they will survive to the age that I am now. And if they do, it'll be a miracle. Something very radical has got to happen. There has got to be a huge groundswell of opinion. People have got to get together and they've got to talk. And countries have got to talk to each other and people. And then maybe... A lot of people think that it's so awful they can't even bear to think of it.
And yet you love it.
Well, of course I love it, because I've been here all my life. My husband's buried in the churchyard, my daughters are both married in the church, and one thing and another. And so of course I love it. You like what is familiar. You return to the things that you know and love, and it's still Fairford.
Is it where you want to be buried?
Oh, I've booked a place. I've got a place. I sit there and the little stream goes down the bottom and the green goes away. It has to be one of the most beautiful places. And very peaceful, very nice.
And it'll still be there?
I don't know. I hope so, yes.
kestrel, purpose-poised, yoked to the wind, hangs needle-eyed and taloned above the motorway verge, oblivious of the tumult of traffic below. Streamlining time in our clock-watch world, we chase illusion of seeing by delusion of movement. On byways remote from the motor cavalcade, pause and behold worlds of wonder anew. House martins from Africa, eavesdropping on our lives. To the disused quarry, sand martins return, clamoring in clusters among a riddle of holes, prospecting nest homes for rearing their young. Cows grass gaze in the morning dew meadows. Birds delve for insects, flushed by the cattle. Spring song sprinkles and rinses the air. In a lane-side spinney stands a gaunt silver birch, clasped by fungus and pockmarked with holes, prized home and creche for a great spotted pecker. Sap seeps higher on the succulent pastures, blessed by the sun and shadowed by showers. Maytime glistens in the bells of the cowslip. Cocooned in cars and marooned in movement, what can we see of those miniature worlds where caterpillars crawl, and the damselfly drowses, and wagtails hawk the pond where the dragonflies dip? Field and hedgerow, bankside and stream are stippled and dappled with a spangle of flowers, treasure troves of nectar and pollen for the bees. Squirrels ripple along branches, chasing the hours till the daylight dwindles. Then the barn owl alights, raking the twilight with murderous claws. Starlings commute to their communal roosts. They gab and jostle for their reluctant repose. And we grope homewards as the mist descends, shrouding a secret world.